What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, folks? It's your main man, Bo P, back in the place to be, doing what I do because I do it well and I do it swell, and I'm supposed to be doing it. You dig? I'm here with my main man, OC Mathis, one of the greatest guys I know. Cool cat, man, down to earth cat. Let's go ahead and give him a nice welcome. Come on in, OC. How you doing today, baby?
Hey man, I'm doing great, y'all. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? And by the way,
Right on, right on.
it's King Aquarius for right now.
Oh, my bad,
You
player,
know,
my
it is
bad.
yeah,
Look,
it's King Aquarius.
look, didn't mean to tinkle your ivories. You know what I'm talking about? King Aquarius. I'm sorry, baby. King Aquarius. You know what I'm
No
saying?
worry. Trying to
But
hold it
hey,
down
man.
for the Aquarian world.
Hey, man, that's all you can do. Hey, do what you do because you can't do no more. You know what I'm saying?
True
But
that.
yeah, man. So tell the people where you from and kind of just a little bit about, you just I guess you say your upbringing, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Originally from Kansas City, Missouri, born and raised. Moved to Dallas, Texas in 2014. Been here ever since. Um, got three sons. Father, love my sons. I got two in school, one getting ready to get out of school. Uh, I
Already.
don't know, man.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Congratulations. So, you say Kansas City, Missouri. Now
KC.
it's still Midwestern, but it's a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? So tell me what I guess you would say what that was like growing up in that particular area, because every area, every state, every city is potentially different, but the same.
Very true. Very true. Kansas City. A lot of people say Kansas City don't get hot. Kansas City, they don't get a bad winter. That's BS. In the wintertime, it gets cold. I remember walking to the store in -6. Some people say, oh, we get -22. Okay, well, -6 is cold.
Hold on. Now this is just off the basis of the whole sit interview. What the hell are we going to the store to get in 6 degree weather? What's that important? Mama sent you to the
And
store, didn't
no, no, this is -6. I'm walking to the store because at the time, car wasn't working. The
she?
kids
Oh,
needed
okay.
some food and wasn't nobody helping us out. So as a
Oh well, yeah.
father, I had to throw on two pair of pants, three shirts, a jacket, a scarf, a hat, and gloves, boots, and march my ass about a half mile down the road to the store and back. And it's downhill going, uphill coming. So, and again, it's -6, but those are the things that I had a lot. I did a lot of walking in Kansas City. Freaking frack got a lot of
Now,
miles on them.
now, just in that, just in the walking thing, how does that help you appreciate? And I know we kind of jumping forward just a little bit, and we'll go
Sorry.
back. But I'm a tap dance on you a little bit. But just in having to walk, you know, to go get that for your children, and then to be able to come back with it. You know what I'm saying? How does that make you feel as a man? You know what I'm saying? Because it's a choice, and that's just what we're talking about: being a man and understanding the choices you make.
Yeah,
So
because I definitely had a
basically,
choice.
that part.
It. I could have said, nah, I'm gonna sit my ass right here. It's too cold. I ain't going outside. We got enough in there to eat. They can find something to eat. That's not the kind of man I am. My kids are hungry and it's cold outside and our car ain't working and nobody wants to come give us a ride to the store or take us to the store. So you gotta be a man. Get your ass out here in this cold and go get your kids something to eat. You know.
Damn right. Now, in just in that statement right there, you got to be a man, get your ass up, and go get your kids something to eat. What how can I put this? What groomed you to be that man? Give me some, I guess you would say, take me further back in your early years to give me an example of what groomed you to be that kind of man to make that choice, make the right choice.
A lot of upbringing. One, uh, we're cool now to this day. I'm 51. He's 70 something. But
Mhm,
father wasn't in my life,
mhm.
growing up. Wasn't there. So my mother had to do a lot, single mother raising 3 kids. She had to do a lot. And I seen my mother walk, work 2 jobs, and do whatever she could to provide for us. And on the reflect of that, I told myself I didn't want to be like my father and not be around and do the things that I need to do for my children. So if my children are in my life and I have a capability, if I'm able, I'm getting up. I don't give a damn. I ain't got a car. But growing up, um, mother didn't take me to work, didn't pick me up from work. I'm getting up at 4:30 in the morning to get to work at 8 o'clock because it's the bus and it's 6 feet of snow outside. I'm walking
Wow.
home from high school because she don't want to come get me. So again, a lot of walking, a lot of things that I didn't want my kids to do, so I had to do
And that's, I guess you would say, that's what you call giving your kids the things that they need, the things that you didn't have, and it's not that you don't, and you still give them the morals and values, but just in that, just, I guess you would say, let's dive a little bit more into about growing up with your mom. You say, your dad wasn't in your life, and I know that can be a hard, well, I don't personally know, but I
it. Right.
understand because I have friends, and just in my friend group that I've been around for a while, I'm the only one, by the grace of God, that dad was actually in their life.
Hey man.
Now they got with their dads. One of my friends, his dad passed, when he was younger, and a couple of other ones, they just, weren't there, but they came back as they got older. So just even with growing up that, man, what were the rules in your house? Because I know you say mama with 3 boys. That's a lot going on right there.
2 boys, 1 girl. And the girl is the
Oh,
oldest.
I'm
I'm the
sorry,
middle.
mama, 2 boys, 1 girl. Go now. Tell me about that. And then hold on. Then you got the power. She got the power move because the girl is the oldest.
She's the oldest. I'm the middle child, and my brother is the youngest. So, for all the middle children out there, I feel you. Oh, I got the shit. Understand? And it didn't make it any better that my mom and father divorced. So she still held resentment against him for a long, long time. Even told me one day to my face, "You look just like your damn daddy," and didn't mean it in a happy, pleasant way. She was pissed off at the time at him, but since I look
Yeah,
like him, you gonna take it out
yeah,
on me.
you.
So I got a lot of that. I'm not gonna sit up here and play innocent, but I was a lot rebellious, growing up because he was not around.
Wow.
I did a lot of shit because my father was not around. And that's what happens. A lot of young men, when there's just a single mother, do a lot that they wouldn't do if a man was in the house. But
Oh, of course.
I had that mother that would, break your neck, punch you in the face. I tell everybody I got beat with everything growing up. I'm not scared to say it. I got beat with everything. If my mama could pick up the house and smack me with it, she would pick up the house and smack me with it and dare me to call social services.
I think by the grace of God, my mom has only hit me with a belt, her hand, probably a shoe, and I think that's about it. Because like we didn't really have just because I lived with my mom was married and I had my stepdad there with me. Like, and all his extension cords he was a neat freak. So all of that is put up in the garage. They wasn't just accessible to be hitting you with a cord. You know what I'm saying? And I've
Okay.
seen people,
Okay.
so I mean, but I definitely understand that, getting that whooping, getting hit with whatever's potentially in range. But go ahead.
Hey, I hit with everything. Telephone, extension cord, trees. I ain't talking about switches. I said trees. That's exactly what I meant. The whole cow, the whole leather strap of the cow, I got beat with. Broomsticks. I mean, my mother to pick up the VCR and threw it at me one time.
Now,
Um,
okay, now I got to question some of this now because when you say the VCR, my guy,
mhm.
because what choice did you make to make Mama that mad where she had hit you with the VCR?
You really
Because
want
that's
me to
her
tell that
hard-earned
story?
money.
You want
That's
me to
a
tell
hard
that
earned
story?
money right there. Now, if I'm going too deep, let me know. But Mama, hold on. Mama wasted her good VCR on you, so I got to hear this stuff.
I mean, you know, we all grown now. This is shit when we was kids, so I ain't got no problem telling the story. So,
Right?
me and my brother, growing up in Kansas City, Missouri, South Kansas City, we were living in an apartment complex called at the time Carlton Greens. Then they renamed it to Red Bridge Ridge or something like that. But anyway, we lived in this apartment complex. My brother had this friend named Matthew. Now, mind you, I'm the older brother. My brother's younger than me. He's 5 years younger than me.
Hmm.
So he had this friend named Matthew. Me, I'm a little badass. You know, I'm outside trying to damage property and be bullied sometimes to kids. And so my brother says, "Hey, Matthew, they're gone. They left their door unlocked, patio door. They live on the first floor." So I've been in Matthew's house.
Oh,
Shut up. Shut up. I've been in
well,
Matthew's house. I've been in Matthew's house. And at the time, I was a model freak, like going to get model cars and putting them together and going to get the epoxy and gluing everything in the paint. I was a model freak. And up the street, there was a shopping center that had a hardware store that sold those kind of items. His mom had a bowl, a glass bowl full of quarters. And I mean to tell you, it was probably $30 worth of quarters. So me and my brother slid in there, opened that door, and we, did what we did, close the door. To this day, I don't understand how that lady knew it was us. I don't. So next day, go to school, come home. Mom says, "Come here, want to talk to you." First of all, in my head, I'm like, well, wait a minute. Why am I the only one being talked to? Nicholas was in on this. This was his friend. This was his idea. He told me about
you
this.
the but you the example.
Fuck that. I wanted I wanted to get some money. I wanted to go up the street and buy me a motor car, go sit in my room and put it together and nobody knows. So long story short, my mom finds out we did. Instead of me and my brother, it was just me. So I'm in her room. She throws her shoe, book, phone. Then she takes the VCR, throws it. I dodge. She picks me up in the hallway. Bop, 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 bop. Don't you ever steal? And yeah. I was a rebel
So
and stupid.
hold on. So look, let me nail it down to this because I'm gonna tell you what my mama used to tell me. So you embarrassed mama. you
Yep.
you embarrassed mama.
Embarrassed mama. Uh, was in threat of getting evicted out of the complex because of me and my brother. Yeah.
Oh, oh yeah.
It was deep. It
Yeah,
was
so
deep.
yeah. So yeah, look, I ain't gonna lie, it's understandable. You finna give me put out my place, and I ain't got money to be finding a new place because we barely surviving because y'all eat up everything.
Right. Right. I
But it,
got I mean, me and my mom, we till this day we're okay, but we've never been like, they say that's a mama's boy. I don't think I've ever been one. I love my mom, but growing up, there were some things, that didn't sit well with me and my sister. My brother was
Mhm.
young and he was always out of the way and didn't see a lot.
Right,
So
right.
he's like, well, I don't know. Me and my sister trying to tell him, chill out, boy. You don't know what you talking about. Yeah, chill. But to this day, me and mom, we're cool. We're okay. I love her. She's my mother. But it was tough. It was tough for her, tough for me. She wasn't the only one. Like I said, I'm not gonna sit up here and be innocent and try to be innocent. But yeah, I did a lot too. But I
Right.
did mine in rebellion.
Of the whole situation of dad gone, and then you look like dad, and you kind of get that I guess
It
you would say
you
that sass because you do look like dad, and it's not necessary, and it's not your fault, but you just happen to be a recipient of it because you look like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
Now,
so when I got wind of that, you are taking this out on me because I look like the man that you used to love. And so now I'm rebelling because you're taking it out on me because of him. So
Right,
now I'm
right.
going to take it out on you. I'm an Aquarius. I don't. That's what King Aquarius is. You know, I'm an Aquarius. Our minds tweak. We're all about fairness. I don't care if you're my mother, my father, the president of the United States, or my boss. If it's not fair, there's not an Aquarius on the face of this planet that is going to not let you hear that because it's not fair. We all deal in fairness, analytical thinkers, and if it ain't fair, we got a problem, and we getting ready to come for you. And I did a lot of that, growing up. No, you can't do this. Why? She got to do it. You know, I'm 18 now. Why I can't do this? No. I broke a lot of curfews. But anyway, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
And no, 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 but that's good. That's good. What you were saying, because now that brings me, I guess you say, to my next point. And after you became an adult, and you, well, I ain't gonna say became an adult, but when you start seeing it, and it built up, and you became an adult, how did what choice? And once again, we're gonna keep on hitting that word choice. When did you make the choice to say, you know what, okay, I understand how she's processing this. How do I process it different so we can live coherently?
Oh, try it many
Or,
times.
or
I was
huh?
kicked out of my house 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Each time I came back was kicked out. At the time of 18 and 19, I finally realized that there is no living with my mother. I cannot, me and my mother cannot, we have a better relationship when we're not in the same house because we cannot live together. So I probably made that decision probably about 18, 19. About the last time she kicked me out is probably, yeah, about 18. And at the time, me and my high school sweetheart, we went ahead and got our first apartment together. And I ain't looked back. But at 51, I understand that, and I tell this to my sister to this day. Me and mom can't live together. We butt heads too much. We do. Me and
Even
mom
at
butt heads too much.
51, even at 51 now, and I don't know how old your mom is. Um,
We gonna keep that under wraps. Don't get me
oh
cut
yeah,
up.
well, we look. I wasn't expecting you to answer that. Look, you don't look. You ain't gonna get me or you in trouble.
Yeah, and
We're
get
not
me in
gonna
trouble,
we're
man.
not gonna play that game. What? Look, and she gonna come for who is that boat picking fella asking my age?
Cause she is on Facebook, so yeah, don't get her cutting
No,
me
ma'am.
up now.
No, no. But even at this age, because obviously both of you guys are wiser and beyond your years, you don't think you guys could cohabitate right now?
Not
If
in the
if
same
if
space.
if everything hit the fan and you had to cohabitate, you don't think you could?
3 months tops. I am
And it's
telling you,
gonna boil over like gumbo.
3 months tops, and it's going to boil over like gumbo because it's going to be like living with her at 18 or 20 all over. It's going to be like that. Um, my
Okay.
mom, she's the kind of person, and I love her, but she's the kind of person that still wants to treat you as a child, even though you're not one. So
Right.
I'm
So you mama baby
51. Yeah, I can be your baby forever, but don't treat me like that. I'm a grown man.
forever.
And I know
Now,
a lot
all
of
right.
people out here are gonna say, "Oh, don't be disrespectful," but you gotta understand how I grew up. If it wasn't fair, I had a problem with it, and I discussed it. I voiced my concern. May not have turned out the way you know it should have, but I voiced my concerns, and I rebelled a lot, and I questioned a lot, and I dealt with fairness a lot. And some of the times, in my opinion, she'll say different, but in my opinion, my mother wasn't fair on a lot of things sometimes. So we'll just leave that part at that.
Touche, touche. And now we're gonna switch gears a little bit, and I guess you'll say move a little bit forward into where you were moved lived with your first sweetheart and all of that. Now, how did that how did that frame some of the choices you make now as a 51-year-old man, knowing you moved out, boom, I'm here. I got my sweetheart with me, I don't know how soon the kids came, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? But just moving out, boom, I'm out here. How when you think back right now about that decision to just boom, I'm on my job, got my girl, we finna do it. And you say you never look back. How does that help you? I mean, I guess you would say, how does that help you with your choices today?
It helps me a lot. What I've been through, I deal with a lot of things to this day. For one instance, I give you this. So when I left Kansas City, Missouri, because you said about looking back, when I left Kansas City, Missouri, me and my family were into it. Mom, sister,
Hmm.
brother. I was the outcast. Kind of always been like the black sheep of the family. I've always said I've always been the outcast. But in 2014, 2013, 2014, I became the outcast and I became the problem. So I always said, well, if I'm the problem, I need to remove myself from the equation. So decided to pack up, move to Dallas. Didn't look back. Did not look back. It hurt. It
Hmm.
hurt. The first 5 years here hurt because I had no contact with my mother, no contact with my brother, no contact with my sister. They're all against me. They're all against me, my family. So the first 5 years here, I didn't speak to anyone. It was tough. So some of my decisions are emotionally based, I guess I should say sometimes now, and more analytical too. I think a lot more before I make some decisions because younger, hell, I made rash decisions. I didn't care. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I think we all made some rash, excuse me, excuse me, some rash decisions when we were younger. I mean, none of us made the most logical and thought out decisions
Hell
all
no.
the time.
Hell no. We all thought we were right. And, in my head growing up, I thought I was right. you know,
Mm.
I thought I was right. This is the right decision to make. But at that time, that decision I believe was the best because if it wasn't, me and my mother wouldn't talk to this day. If I didn't make that decision to move and not look back, because I can't be in
Right.
the same spot and I'm always the problem. But then when I removed myself from the equation, I found out I wasn't a problem. After 5 years of being in Texas, my sister reached out to me
Hmm.
and she apologized and told me, "Hey, I apologize because now I see what you were talking about." Because my sister was always on my mother's side whenever we fell out. My brother, he was kind of in the middle. He didn't do nothing, but I don't know. My sister, she was always choosing my mother's side, so we would always fall out. But she
Right.
found out, so I wasn't the problem in the first place. But I'm glad I made the decision to move here to Texas because I'll go back home. I'll go back to KC to visit, but I don't think I'll ever move back.
I mean, yeah, it seems as if you made a pretty good life here for yourself. So, I mean, at this point, moving
Better
back is
living,
kind of a big,
yeah.
you
I mean,
know,
even though Kansas City is perspiring now, you know, the Kansas City Chiefs have won Super Bowls, and so they've brought a lot of revenue there. Google just signed some $1 billion deal with the Kansas City or with Missouri to do something there. I can't remember exactly. So revenue was pouring into Missouri, Kansas City. Jobs are, pay rate is going up. So if I did
right.
move back, I would say what I make here, I could have a 4 bedroom house in Kansas City, Missouri, in South Kansas City.
Now, would you make that though there with the same job? That's where it kind of gets tricky.
Now, now, yes, now, yes.
Okay.
Since I've been here what 11 years. So with my resume and what I've gained and learned here since I've been here in this job market in Texas, yes, I can go back to Kansas City and make probably the same or more.
So okay. So I'm gonna track back again. So with you moving to Dallas, would you consider that, I guess you say, the best move you've made, or I mean, no, you know what? I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna skip that. What's the best choice you made in the last 2 years?
The best choice I've made in the last 2 years. Out of
And,
what
and
though?
I'm just giving you, I mean, just in your life, helping you be a better OC. And I'm just saying 2 years just to give you a broad area, you know?
Patience. I would say one thing I would have to say patience because I really didn't have it. I really don't have it. But over the last 2 years, I've had to teach myself patience. And like I said, I'm 51, but I've never really had patience. Patience gets on my nerve. I want it now, here, right now. Let's get it. I don't want to wait. Patience is not a virtue. And I hate when people say patience is a virtue. No, the hell it's not. It's not a virtue. Not to me,
It's a learned
but
behavior.
it's a
It's
learned
a
damn
learned behavior.
behavior. Yes,
Yeah.
it is a
I
learned
mean,
behavior.
if you never had anyone to just say, hold on, wait, and this backtrack this excuse me, this backtracks to, you jumping out of the house at 18, 17, 18. You know what
Right,
I'm saying?
right.
And at that point, I got the money, so it's boom, boom, and I don't, what I'm saying, I'm getting what I need, so it's you learn. And okay, did your children teach you patience though? Because you got three boys
I got three boys and one girl. My daughter is the
and one girl.
oldest. Yeah, she was born in 92.
Oh, sound like mama.
Yeah, she was born in 92. But yeah, patience. Yeah, I had to grow patience with my son, because again, nobody taught me how to be a father. So a lot of things
Yeah,
I was doing and acting on was just out of what I've seen or what I've heard or what I feel, not what I learned. So teaching my sons it was a lot. It was trial and error. I can tell my sons right now, I was not the best father. I've been in your life, your whole life, but I can admit, no, at times I was not the best father. I was not the best man for them at some point in time. And so, in a reflection of that, I had to sit down in the mirror and look, you got to be that all the time. You know, you got young black men out here. My pastor at the time when I was going to church back in the day, he said the black man is an endangered species until the age of 25.
what?
And if you look at it, we are.
What? Trust me.
You're an endangered species until the age of 25. If you're a black man and you make it past the age of 25 years of age, that's a success.
Bro, I remember, I'm 42. I remember specifically when I made 25. I was like, thank you, Lord. Because most people, and just in that reason, because I knew that statistic when I was in my 20s. You know what I'm saying? And hell, that was 20 years ago. Well, roughly, 20 years ago. But just to make it to 25, like you said, I was like, oh man, appreciate hell when I made 18,
It's,
21, hit, next milestone 25. Then you hit 30. It's
you
like, oh God, thank you. And by the grace of God, I hit
know,
40.
I'm,
I'll be 43 this year. So
amen.
and like you say,
It's just for me I got to get my sons past the age of 25. We don't live in Missouri. Missouri has crime. Texas has crime. But to me, Chris, living in Texas, crime is a little bit worse to me. I don't know. Maybe it is, but living in Kansas City is worse too. The school system sucks. I just figured my sons would have a better chance of life here in Texas. And I want to be able to teach them whatever it needs them to be a man, whatever it means to them to be a man, what I've learned, trial and error, mistakes. And I can't stand a man out here not teaching his son anything. It irritates the shit out of me.
bruh, bruh, I promise you, I am on the same page with you. That literally, like, I am the type of guy, I can't even hang with you if you are not in your children's life. I can't hang with you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There is, I mean, unless it's and it has to be an absurd situation, like because I am a dedicated father. You know,
Dedicated father.
I have one biological son. I have five beautiful other little babies that are mine too. You know what I'm saying? Not my blood, but they my babies. But I will be damn. I may not have had the money all the time for my child or
Right.
everything to get, but I, like you said, I've been here, and I may not been the
Yeah, I've been
best
here.
father all the time, but I'm gonna be here.
I've been here.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
I've been here.
And that
You seen my sons have seen me at my worst. They've seen me at my best, and they've seen me in the middle. But the one thing about it is, I've never been too grown or too stubborn to go to each and every last one of my sons and apologize if I've done them wrong or if I said something to them wrong.
and I did
I've always apologized to my son.
And I did that too, my guy. And you know what? And that's exactly what we're talking about: being a man and understanding the choices you make, because that's a huge choice to remove. Because a lot of grown men don't do that with their kids because of pride.
They don't.
And like I did wrong, and I went to my son and like, hey son, I'm sorry. You know, pops was out of, and not even say out of line, but I didn't mean to hurt your feelings or whatever the case may be. But I do apologize to you. You know what I'm saying? Because when you do that, that helps them understand that you understand how that they got feelings too.
Right. Not because you my son, it's because you have feelings. I was wrong. And to take the note that, oh, I'm your father or I'm your mother, I ain't got to apologize to you. You my child. That's crazy and stupid and ignorant.
That is
Your
very
child has feelings too.
the child has you are definitely
You
right,
know,
man. And it's good
I
to
am one of
go
them.
ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm one of them kids that grew up and was told, I am your parent. I ain't got to apologize to you for shit. So I took that and ran with it. I'm not doing my kids the same way.
Ah,
If I mess up with my sons, if I say something wrong, if I yelled at them, or if they thought it was too rough or too wrong, and then we all calm down later and I sit and get a collective head, hey son, I just want to tell you I apologize, man. I knew I was a little out of wrong. I knew I was out of line and I spoke out of turn. So I do apologize to you, son. I've done that.
and that takes
Because I don't want them to think that I'm too much of a stubborn or hardcore man to apologize that I fucked up.
right. And also that teaches them as a man, it's okay to apologize. It's okay to remove your
Exactly.
pride because those instances, because it can just in you apologizing in that instance, that can turn into him apologizing just because, we always say the nigga step on a nigga shoe scenario in the club.
It's a fight happening.
Instead
Nigga,
of
you
that,
step on my brand new Nikes in the club, nigga, and scuff them, it's a fight.
yeah, but but
Instead of saying, my
my
bad.
bad. And that teaches your son, that teaches our children that it's okay to apologize. It's okay to admit you were wrong. That is what makes you a man. That is what makes you a little lady. To be a great person, regardless of sex, I would say. That's what makes you a great person to be able to say, hey, you know what? I'm wrong, man. I apologize. We gonna be okay. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah, man, we gonna we've been on here for about 30. We got about a minute and a half. We've been on here about we almost 35 minutes. I went over just a little bit. I was aiming for 30, but we look, it got good,
Man,
man. It
I
got
can
good.
do an hour, brother. You tripping.
I
I
mean,
can do an hour, man. What are you talking about? Man, we can talk all day.
yeah, but look, an hour is a long, long video to end.
Yeah, I mean, the average podcast is probably about 35, 45
Yeah,
minutes.
and that's what I'm trying to get to,
Yeah, 28 to 45 minutes.
Yeah, because after about 30, 35 minutes, even when I was doing my live, when I used to do my live podcast on the regular, I noticed that everybody usually come in on about minute 4 or 5, and then about
Mm-hmm.
25 minutes into it, people start 20, 25 minutes on it, people start lagging off because people attention span not what it used to be. You know what I'm saying? So we
Hey,
talking
man,
about
I need a favor, though. I know this is your spot.
what you got.
I know this is your spot. But I need to ask a favor. Can I to your people out there? Can I get them to advertise for what I got coming?
Okay, just
Because I know you said we ain't got that much time left, and I just want to get out here real quick with
well, go ahead.
I got a podcast coming. All right, I got a podcast coming, everybody. And again, this is King Aquarius. I am the King Aquarius. So the podcast is living in an Aquarian world with King Aquarius. Anything we talk about that irritates or love, romance, anything that deals with an Aquarius, I want to hear from you. Join me. I'll keep you posted of when it's coming. Again, the podcast is called Living in an Aquarian World with King Aquarius. Thank you, Corey. I appreciate that.
Are you
Appreciate
ready?
it.
Hey, y'all heard it here first, man. Y'all heard it here first. Living in an Aquarian world with my main man, King Aquarius. Sire Aquarius. No, peasants. No. You just squelched
I
my
am thy
world.
king.
No, no.
I know the comments is gonna kill me with that name, but I don't give a damn.
No,
I'm
it's cool.
Aquarius.
It's
That's the
cool.
shit that we do.
It's cool. That's what's up, man. But yeah, we're gonna set it up. We're gonna do it like that, man. Thank you guys for coming on and joining in and watching us. Appreciate you, my main man, King Aquarius.
Thank you for
Yeah,
having me. Appreciate it.
King, yeah, cousins. But no, this has been
Dun dun dun.
this has been your episode of being a man and understanding the choice you make. Conversation Us, baby. I'm sorry. This has been your episode of Conversation Us called Being a Man and Understanding the Choice You Make. And once again, we appreciate you, my main man, OC Mathis. I'm sorry, King Aquarius. King Aquarius.
Appreciate it.
Hey, can't put,
Make sure you bring me back.
yeah, can't,
I want to do this
oh
again.
yeah, most definitely, most definitely. We're gonna bring it back like church slacks and you know what I'm saying, in black. You know what I'm saying? But hey man, appreciate you. Y'all have a good night, man. You have a good night. Be blessed. And I'm out of here, man. Your main
Be
man,
blessed,
Cold
everybody.
B.
Thank you. King Aquarius. See ya.